All right, there we are.
There we are. I'm waiting for us to show up there
Show up on your end.
on that monitor there.
Yeah, that there monitor.
That there monitor.
Whew. Well, how is everyone? I have no idea what you've been traipsing all about this past week, haven't you?
Yeah. I was on a family vacation.
Whoa.
You can cue the Go-Go song if you want to.
The what?
I'm sure that you have that right on your Stream Deck ready to go.
I know everything about what you just said, which is a thing that I presume has something to do with something someone would only be cursed with the knowledge of if they have kids.
No. Only if they.
Is that I don't know. The Go-Go song sounds like a thing that kids would listen to incessantly.
Oh no, the band is called the Go-Go's.
Oh, okay. Well, see, shows you what I know. I don't know nothing.
But yeah, we went like starting the day before 4th of July. We went to my in-laws, and then we went to Niagara Falls. And then we went to Buffalo, and then we went to my hometown, and we came back today. We've been gone. It'll be a week tomorrow.
Oh, you went to your hometown again? You were just there.
Well, that was just because I was. It was conveniently placed to where I was working, so I was like, I'm just going to go there. We had planned to go there anyways, and I just said I'm going to go there because I'm going to be right there. It'd be silly not to go, even if it was for only 24 hours. At the time.
Yeah. But you just got back like
literally an hour and a half ago. And I was not sure if, it's like a 5.5 hour drive, but it really, like, driving through Ohio is like so boring. And it makes it feel so much longer than it is. So we left around, I don't know, like maybe around a little bit after 11 this morning. And drove all the way through. Although we had to stop, and we had Nellie with us, so we had to stop for her to pee and stuff like that too.
Does she do good on longer car rides?
Yeah. I think that she does pretty good. I think that she's gotten better at it. I mean, she is good when she's doing it, but I think she gets kind of car sick after a little while. But she was super happy to be home. And I'm not sure if we're going to take her on a long vacation like this again.
Oh, yeah.
It's just there's so many concessions you have to make to like work around having a dog. Like when we were in Buffalo, I met up with like a whole bunch of my old friends, and we were looking for a place to go, but we had to find some place that was pet friendly. And then we had a hotel. We had to make sure it was pet friendly. So it was...
yeah, it can be a challenge.
Yeah. But probably the most interesting thing that I did is that I sent a message to one of the people who moved into my mom's house, and I asked if we could stop by. I was unsure if I was going to be emotionally prepared for it, but I decided to go through with it because I think that living in a house now that the previous owners like raised their kids in this house and then sold it. And I just think about like, I wonder if they would like what we've done to it, if they'd be happy. And I just started thinking about how they would probably be interested in seeing this. So, I just decided to go for it. So I messaged her and she was like, yeah. We'll be home at this time. And we'd love to have you stop by. And they have a son that's like exactly the same age as Monty.
Oh, wow.
And as my son. And they were immediately like best friends. And it was kind of surreal, but at the same time, I feel like so much has been done to that house that it was almost unrecognizable to me.
Wow.
And I really almost didn't feel anything. My wife said that she thought that it was like, she could definitely felt that it looked very much the same. But for some reason, for me, I felt that it was almost unrecognizable.
Well, I mean, you have obviously much stronger memories of the place than she does, so like,
right,
you would notice little changes a lot more.
Exactly. But I mean, even still, like, I didn't think that it, like, there's a lot of things that was still there, but they changed out like all the carpets, all this other stuff, and when you first walk in, it was just like an entryway and stairways going upstairs, and it goes to the kitchen, and there's like a room over here that has like a fireplace in it, and to the left it was just like a wall and like a closet, and they knocked out that entire wall. It goes like straight into the living room now, so it's like all like completely open, and like it's like totally different.
Wow.
And it was a lot of fun, and they breed dogs there, so there's like tons of dogs like running around.
Like what kind of dog?
Like in the backyard, like I don't know, like the kind you breed, not the kind that like just do it on their own. But this is like special breeds, and of course my kids were like, oh, we got to get one, and I'm like, there was no way that this is going to happen. Not in a million years. And like,
well, did Nelly
this one only gets like this big, and I'm like, Nelly is like as big of a dog as I ever want. I don't want a dog any bigger than her.
Did Nelly get to see the dogs?
Yeah, but some of them were like so big. I think that she's all about like playing with dogs, but in this case, I think she felt so outnumbered that she was nervous about it and wanted to be held most of the time.
Yeah.
And I think it was, the last full day of this vacation, and she's been a real trooper the whole time. And she I think she just wanted to be held and was like just too tired to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But on Wednesday or Thursday, we went to Niagara Falls, which was kind of amazing. You ever been to Niagara Falls?
Yeah. I mean, I was like on the American side a long time ago. And then my senior trip in high school was to the Canadian side of Niagara Falls and then Toronto. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure it's beautiful and everything, but like my main memory was just like what a junky tourist town it is.
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah.
Like at least on the Canadian side, like it's just like
no, it really is. Like I'd never really been to the American side too extensively.
Yeah.
And this was the first time as an adult that I'd been there. I mean, I went like with my grandparents as a kid, but when I went over as an adult, like we just go because the drinking age was 19 in Canada, and you could just like I was going to the University of Buffalo, so we just go across the bridge and go out. Like it's not like I ever saw the falls when I was
yeah. Like I remember the falls being there, but it's just like I don't know. Like me and my parents have traveled out west a whole bunch of times and seen, mm-hmm. so much interesting nature out that way, just all these, interesting places out in the desert and mountains and stuff. And like, I'm sure Niagara Falls themselves are beautiful, but just like everything that's built up around it kind of distracts me from it. It's kind of lessened because of that, at least for me.
Yeah. Well, this was, we went on the Maid of the Mist, which is like the boat you take down like at the bottom of the falls and stuff. Yeah, and if I had ever done that, I did not remember it because it was totally awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get like soaking wet, and it's funny because it was a really, really hot day. It was like 91 when we got there at 9:00 in the morning, and just going down, you get down by the water, and it's immediately like 15-20 degrees cooler.
Yeah.
So it works out really well. Like it was kind of a perfect day to go. But it was really fun. It was fun. I mean, we had a great time taking the kids. The kids had a good time. It's hard going on family vacations because we stayed at a campground. We were going to originally go camping and go tent camping. And we did a test run for tent camping like about a month ago, and we decided to switch over to like like going to a KOA, which is like a campground where people can bring like their RVs or like, and there's cabins and stuff. And we switched over to that because, you know, we thought when we went we went camping, like at tent camp, and we ended up just, it was fun for like a bit of time, but we'd always just like end up kind of fighting because it was, you know, it's just like it's just a lot of stuff to do, you know, and you're tired, and after driving that long, and you got to set up this tent that's about the size of a small apartment, and it is not. You just end up fighting. We just ended up fighting, and our fuse is like this short with our kids, you know, who are asking a million questions. Like we have zero fuse, and we're just like annoyed. So we decided to go to a KOA this time, and it was better. We didn't fight as much, but we did fight some. So I think that we decided this time that I think we're just going to stay in hotels. Because we stayed in hotels when we stayed in Buffalo to see friends, and when we went to my hometown in Jamestown, we stayed in a hotel, and everybody was like immediately 100% happier the entire time.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think if you're camping, I mean, you have to set aside time for the camping aspect and not be exhausted.
Yes,
when you get to it, you know?
And it's just really hard not to be exhausted with an 8 and 11-year-old. And after being in the car with them for, you know, like 7 hours, I guess.
Yeah.
You're about ready for them to, you know, just leave me alone.
Well, how about I go play some Metal Slug Advance?
Yeah. Some people were saying like, what does any of this have to do with Metal Slug? Right. That's the point. I mean, we're just
here to be here.
Shoot our stuff. Shoot the stuff at the beginning.
You know, it's kind of funny actually that like when I was looking at games I could play today, I thought of this because we're actually going to start Metal Slug 3 on the Backloggery stream tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like maybe overkill. But you know, auto fire. Why would I not auto fire?
Yeah.
Is there a reason I wouldn't? Let's do normal damage.
But you know, like I did do a little bit of game shopping in Niagara Falls. And like apparently like kind of a locally owned place around the Buffalo area. Seems to be this place called Oogie Games. Oogie, like OOGIE, I think it is. Oogie.
Okay.
And there was one that was like 12 minutes away from where we were staying. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go. And I didn't get much, but I got my stuff over here. So I've been looking for this ever since John was here, and he's like, "Oh, you got to play that Transformers game on the PS2, like not the one that's like based off the movie."
Oh, look at that!
But it's called Transformers.
I saw someone say shoot up immediately as you start. Mm-hmm. I got a S-clip card, whatever that means.
Oh. But I've been looking for this Transformer game, and they always seem to have. So it's this game. It's this Transformer game. John says it's really, really good, surprisingly good, and it runs really well, and it's really ambitious, and it's really cheap. But I could never find it. Everyone always has like the ones based on the movie, which is not good. But then there's this one that apparently is really good. And I found it one other time, but it was just like in a non-official case. It was like, you know, just like a regular DVD case, and the game was just like destroyed. But then I finally found it at Oogie Games for $11.99, and it's in fantastic condition. It has a manual, and it looks like it's like never been played.
Huh.
So I'm curious to see what it's going to be like. But it does say on the back, it says that you can unlock the original Transformer songs. And I'm wondering if that's like from the show, or if that's like songs from the animated movie, which would be awesome. And it also has all the classic Transformer PSAs that are unlockable.
That's funny.
Which is like, I mean, that's pretty cool. This is, you look back at games on the PS2, and the amount of unlockable content was just amazing. And just like everything.
Well, I mean, like the idea that you could just it seemed like infinite space.
Yes. And it's like, we're going to put all this stuff on there just because we can do it.
Yeah, I mean, I love that you could have, special features and stuff, and that was somewhat common, like, for a good portion of the PS3 generation as well, because once again you upgrade to Blu-ray, and it seems like you've got infinite space.
Yes, but so I'm excited to check that out. I'm really curious to see how if it lives up to like the amount of work I actually put into finding it, because I've been looking for it in various places since April and never found it until now. And it was cheap. So I'm excited to see if it's pretty good. I do want to say that there was a $5 before the stream started from Container 7, who said, "Thank you for these live streams."
Which when I saw that made me think, well, we were
like this close to like
whether
not streaming
all
tonight.
tonight just because you were traveling and I've been busy, and I saw that and I was like, I had a gut feeling that someone would be disappointed if we weren't here tonight. So we should.
Yes. So I'm happy. Hopefully, Container 7, you are still here and enjoying enjoying this stream. It's all for you, buddy. Anyways, Gaming Blows has also been a member for 33 months.
Oh wow.
Who says anything special about this version of Metal Slug over the other ports? What's the definitive home version? Isn't this kind of like an original game?
I'm pretty sure this is a completely original game.
Is it like mission based? Like the DS game is mission based.
It does seem like it might be. There was like a mission select, but like there was only one level, so I don't.
Okay.
I don't know if it might just be just like the illusion of being mission based, and it's just actually going to be pretty linear. But it did seem like there was there was like a menu, like so.
All right.
At least I could like go back and like check the collectibles and stuff. I mean, it makes sense that they would want to put stuff like that in a handheld game that is handheld first and not.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Axel Futanagi jumped in with a $5 donation and say it isn't a port of Metal Slug; it's its own thing. It's secrets, unlockables, and health bar.
Yeah, and then the Metal Slug, I guess 7, which was then ported to PSP, and I've got a PS4 version,
which is
Metal
like
Slug
Double X. Yeah. I don't know if that's like based on. Is that based on the DS game?
I'm pretty sure it is, which is Metal Slug 7, yeah.
But I wonder if this is, if 7 might include like everything from this. That's one of those things. I have no idea. I have Metal Slug 7.
So.
Also.
I think it's a different game. I'm not positive, but I think it's a different game.
Okay. Well, that'll be interesting to do a little research on that.
I think this is entirely unique, but I'm not positive.
Yeah. There's also $1.99 from Andy Taylor. Thank you, saying it's when doggies fall in love. You guys rocking it. I guess. I mean that's.
Well,
mission failed. Mission mailed, huh? Already this early. Level 1 mission failed.
Well, it's interesting because it seems you have a life bar.
Yes.
Which I don't think the arcade game.
That's that orange thing on the top of the screen, right under the word that says life.
Yes, it is.
That's the bar.
That is the bar, yes. But I'm pretty sure, unless I'm having a big brain fart, I'm pretty sure the arcade games don't have life bars. They just have life bars. So this has a life bar, and it seems like I didn't have like a spare life, but it let me continue at a check. So.
Okay. So I just want to throw out the rest of these games that I got here. And John, here's another one. John got this when he was here, and I saw it there. I'm like, oh, this is in good shape too. It's this game, Heat Seeker.
Oh yeah,
the airplane game. He says, "Oh, it's like Ace Combat, but it's more arcadey, like Afterburner." And I played it. It's like pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I watched him play some when we were at your house, and it did look good.
Yeah. And this was a whopping $6.99. Are you playing this for the GBA Consolizer?
I am. I almost
Okay.
always play GBA Consolizer nowadays. Like that's just like by far my favorite way to play GBA. And often regular.
And one last thing. This isn't for me. I got this because I laughed at it when I saw it in Erie a couple of weeks ago, and like I'm gonna stick it into this package I'm building for CGQ Chris, and because maybe he can put this on one of his weekend rental shows. It's Jeep Thrills. I mean, I saw it for the first time at the Exchange in Erie, Pennsylvania, and thought it was hilarious. And then this place had like 3 copies of it. I'm like, I'm gonna get him Jeep Thrills.
Yeah, I think is there a Wii version of that? I've definitely seen that around. I mean, it's
I mean, maybe
pretty silly name.
Maybe, but yeah, I mean, it's officially licensed by the quote undisputed king of off-road adventure, Jeep.
The Jeep.
Yeah, Jeep is like the company. Or and they are the undisputed, king of off-road adventure. And the king, an undisputed king, is capitalized. 18 customizable Jeep vehicles, including futuristic concept cars, 35 intense tracks, and one main objective: conquering the terrain and the elements, and owning the planet.
And owning what?
Owning the planet.
Oh, wait, who owns the planet? You do when you play that game?
Well, when you conquer all the terrain and elements, you own, like the planet's getting owned.
You're positive that like the planet got owned by you, rather than
when
like
you conquer all the terrain and elements, yeah. From the jungles of Central America to the frozen Alaskan tundra, this is adventure racing like it ought to be. Jeep Thrills, and everyone else gets left behind. I kind of want to play it. I might. What if it's like amazing?
I mean,
what if it is like?
I mean, you should stream it next week.
Yeah, maybe I will. But I mean, like, what if it's like like a cruising game?
What if it is?
Yeah. I mean, the manual is like 8 pages. I'm sorry, it's 20. But half of them are like getting started, turning on your system stuff.
It's so funny to me that's like it's always been funny to me that there's like actual effort and paper wasted on like how to turn on your video game system. And
yeah, well, you never know though.
Game manuals. I mean, it could be your first game for the system, but isn't that why hardware manuals were made?
Yeah. So there was $10 from
classic POW. I thought it was strange that the previous level had an unfamiliar to me design.
There was $10 from Eric Benoit. Benoit. Thank you. Saying just finished Heavensward try, and it was as good as you said. Are you following the DLC? Are the following DLCs just as good?
Stormblood is the next one, and that's generally considered a fair step down from Heavensward, and it is. Like the actual plot isn't quite as surprising or exciting, although it definitely has its moments. But I actually think I look fondly back on Stormblood more so than maybe most people. I think it has especially like in the far eastern areas. I think it has some of the most beautiful locations in the game. And also, like, I feel like the cast that you kind of travel around with in Stormblood might debatably be the strongest in the game. But Shadowbringers tends to be the fan favorite.
Okay.
Even above Heaven's Word. Although, you know, it's kind of 50-50. You'll hear people who love Heaven's Word and people who love, or maybe 40-50 in favor of, or 40-60. 40%, 60% in favor of Shadowbringers, maybe. It's a pretty tough call for me. I'd say I might prefer Heaven's Word slightly over Shadowbringers, but they're really close. Shadowbringers is very unique. And Endwalker definitely has a lot of strong points. I applaud that they finished the story, but it also has... They didn't 100% stick the landing, but you know what? It's really hard to end a story that's been running for, 10 plus years, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that they did it at all is, pretty impressive.
There's also $3 from Jonathan Hinson.
Thank you.
Thank you. Saying, Coury, you were right about Wonder Boy and Monster World. I'm about 2/3 of the way through the game, and it's amazing. Also started the Dragon's Trap remaster. I'm near the end of it, and I love it as well. Enjoying catching up on the series. How good is that new Wonder Boy collection? I mean, it's pretty good. We streamed the anniversary collection. There's a lot of stuff on it, and all that stuff is just emulated like pretty good. And it has some nice little CRT overlays and stuff. It's really solid.
Yeah, they give you some nice, like, you can choose like crispy and soft interpolation and stuff like that. I mean, it's got a lot. That what is it Steve Snake emulator?
I think so. Yeah, it's just really well made, and they use that emulator for like so many different things.
Mm-hmm. It's got a pretty consistent set of settings that honestly I like.
Yeah. But Jonathan Hinson was asking about, like how Wonder Boy and Monster World is in the Discord, like last week, and I said, it's probably like the best game in the series, of the original series.
Yes, I mean, Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom is probably better, but yeah, it's great. It's I would say one of the best.
You can throw a grenade with the R button apparently.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, they're saying
Sometimes I forget there are shoulder buttons on GBA. I wonder if the grenade will light this fuse though.
That was Axel Kusanagi with the $2 donation to say, for the love of God, throw a grenade. The R button.
There you go.
For the love of God.
But it doesn't seem like... Oh, I've got limited grenades. I see the bomb up there now. Does L do anything? It doesn't seem to like hold my feet.
Oh, that would be nice if you could. But there's no diagonal shooting in this game, so it's not like.
Well, there's like
there?
transitional diagonal shooting sometimes.
Oh yeah.
With certain guns, anyway. Like if you're
counts.
moving from up to horizontal.
Yeah. But yeah. I mean, that's where I'm at right now. I do have a magazine from Video Game History Foundation that I've not opened that I could open on right now and find out what it is.
Mine was. I think it was like a PC gamer magazine, so not too fitting for me.
I'll do it.
I normally I feel like I usually get pretty lucky, and it's like, oh, this is like a perfect cover for me, or a month or a year. I really want.
You ready? Here, I'm gonna pull it out. I'm not
Okay,
looking
here
at
we
it. Can you tell me if it's?
If it's any good. It's upside down. Oh, it's an EGM. I can't tell what the cover is. It's an EGM. Oh, is that Final Fantasy VI?
This is May of 1996. Oh, it looks wow! It's like sealed.
Oh, really?
It's got like the poly bag in it. Or something.
So it's double bagged.
Well, it's got like the bag on it,
Well,
but it doesn't have the extra stuff in it.
It was hard to make out because of all the shine, but I saw that fake face
Oh,
on.
you thought it? You thought?
I thought it
you
was
think
cyan.
you thought that Lao from Virtua Fighter was what is it, cyan?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what it looked like at first.
No, it's Virtua Fighter. It says the most. It says the most game previews, and it says Final Fantasy VII. Down at the bottom here. But speaking of magazines, I don't know if anybody saw the tweet about it earlier, but there's like the physical copy of the Shiro magazine, which is like the Sega Saturn like fan magazine from like that group of people, like the Sega Saturn Shiro group of people. Like they're doing a physical copy of like their magazine, and it's like $10, $5 shipping, totally worth it.
Yeah.
I can post a link to it here if anyone is interested for the Shiro magazine. I will support everything like this if I can. I mean, it says the exclusive Saturn 2.0 revealed. This is the 8th anniversary edition of the magazine. It must be. That's cool. That is real cool. This is not one I had, so I think that's pretty good. The Video Game History Foundation has a magazine subscription that you can sign up for, and they will send you old game magazines every month as they acquire, like magazine collections from people. They have like duplicates, and that's what they do with their duplicates.
Yeah.
I don't know what the best magazine protective covers are. The ones that they sell, or not that they sell, but they send, are just really high quality. I don't know how expensive these are though. So that's where I'm at. I can open it up. I may I'll pop it open later. But yeah, I don't know what magazine covers they use specifically and what it means.
Protectors.
There's also $3 from Mitch B. Thank you. Saying, spent this week making a Vita dock. I can't imagine playing PSP any other way now. Makes me feel better missing out on getting a Vita TV. So did you hack it, though? So I'm sure you hacked it and you can play anything through those component cables, right? The Vita dock. Yeah. Oh, okay. How does that even...
So wait, this is like a DIY.
You can't do video out
thing?
from the dock. Like I'm thinking of like the PSP Go dock for some reason.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, like I have an official Vita dock.
But does it have video? It doesn't have video out though. Made a Vita dock with a Raspberry Pi.
Oh, interesting. Like, do you have to mod the Vita itself to get something out of it?
Oh, video out from the USB. So it has, like, there's the one hack program that you can send video out over USB if you wanted to.
Other limitations?
I think it can do it wirelessly too. Kanto Zero saying, 10 years ago, I moved in with this girl and just gave away my entire Nintendo Power collection. 10 years of issues starting with the first issue in mid-1988 through mid-1998. I mean, I didn't do exactly the same thing, but I did throw away like a lot of my magazines that were in the closet at my mom's house as she was getting prepared to move. And the thing is this was exactly like 6 months before starting the channel. I'm like, why did I do that immediately?
Yeah.
And it was just too late. I do. So I can kind of understand.
Yeah, I mean, at that time in your life, you know, it probably felt like smart decluttering.
Yes.
You know? And it's like, oh, I'm never going to need this again.
Yes. There was $2 from John Di Loretto. Thank you. Saying, thoughts on the AliExpress consoleized Neo Geo MVS. I don't really have any experience with them. I'm not sure if they are like similar to like the what is like the what is like the MVS is like the
MV1C.
Yeah.
Like
that's what you have, right?
I mean, it seems like something that Bob would have maybe reviewed at some point. But the thing is, like, super guns in general, like, can be kind of dangerous, right? Because of...
Well, I think that they're really starting to get it pretty evened out now.
Well, sure. I mean, there's a lot of good designs out there, but ones on AliExpress, I don't.
Oh, I wouldn't trust those. But I think that these are probably based
like,
on.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if a super gun is not designed all that well, it can have, you know, dangerous voltages and stuff like that could damage something.
Yeah.
Or, you know, so I don't know. I definitely remember looking at them and thinking, wow, like if I recall, like they look kind of decent. Like,
yeah.
You know, I think they have like kind of a cool sort of transparency sort of shell.
Right.
But
I mean, I can't say for sure. I don't have any real experience with those. But speaking of Neo Geo, Neo Geo CD was just added to the Mr. Core. And I didn't even know this was coming out. There was a 8-Bit Do is doing, or 8-Bit Do, whatever you prefer, is doing a Neo Geo CD wireless controller.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I hadn't seen it anywhere, and I just like randomly, like I was on Amazon today, and I just saw it, and it's like, but the thing is it's 2.4G and Bluetooth.
Wow.
So it comes with a dongle, but you could also use it with, say, if you get one of Humble Bazooka's Neo Geo Bluetooth Blue Retro receivers, which I will be purchasing ASAP as soon as they are in stock at Stone Age Gamer.
So I assume they're only making USB. Like, I wonder if they're making like a version that actually could plug into like, you know, that arcade format.
No, but it's the control pad, the CD control pad with the micro switch
thing, right?
Right. The thing is that it's being made with the cooperation of SNK. Like it's like officially like licensed by them.
I couldn't plug that into my NVS without a USB.
Without one of Humble Bazooka's Blue Retro receivers.
Humble Bazooka.
I mean, he's the person who makes them. But
That's the.
And Stone Age Gamer is the one and sells his stuff. But the Blue Retro is basically like the fastest. Are you familiar with the Blue Retro at all?
No.
So Blue Retro are Bluetooth receivers that are like ultra fast. And it's kind of like an open source thing where people can like make them for any system. And it's like ultra fast. It's like as fast as like 2.4 gigahertz.
Wow.
Fastness. Okay. Hang on, let me go to the explanation here. Yeah, so yeah, the Blue Retro, the receiver that you got for your N64.
Oh, is that based on it?
Yeah, that's Blue Retro. Also,
I honestly still haven't even tested it. It's sitting in my system right here. I haven't tested it. Look at
I got a blue one of Humble Bazooka's dongles for the 3DO, and I hooked up a M30 to it. He has one for the Jaguar, for the Jaguar. Jaguar or Jaguar. Do you know anybody that ever said Jaguar?
I don't know, maybe.
A Jaguar. Blue Retro has very low latency comparable to 2.4 gigahertz devices based on controllers being used. You can remap the buttons like in a web interface. I don't know. I'm all about the Blue Retro. I'm getting Blue Retro for as many different things. He has a Saturn one coming out, and I want to use that.
Maybe you should do a video on it.
I mean, I probably could. I just want to get as many as I can.
Yeah,
so I have like the N64 one.
If you're getting a bunch of them, like just do a video and like how you like.
And there's a GameCube one.
Because then I can learn more about it because I want to know.
Yeah, I mean, Blue Retro is just, maybe I should. He has a PC Engine one, but I don't have like a PC Engine controller. I've been using the one from Game Controllers. It's like where I could use the 8-bit-do 2.4 gigahertz.
You don't have a real PC Engine controller?
I do, but what I'm using, I wanted to use it wirelessly, so I got one of the game controllers. What is it? He did one for a 3DO one, but these are all like just you can plug in other controller adapters or controller like a wireless like the 8-bit-do 2.4 gigahertz SNES controller. You can plug SNES controllers into that and use them on different systems or on the 3DO. But well, Shinjan, like I agree, and that's why like I will try to make it as close to the original experience as possible. For instance, I will buy the Blue Retro Saturn controller when Humble Bazooka releases them and they're available. It should be at the end of this month, and I will use an official Saturn controller with 8-bit-do's like replace like the PCB in it. You can put that in, like the mod kit that they sell. They have a Saturn one, and I'll put that in an official Saturn controller. Also, I mean, I feel like I would be pretty okay using one of those new the M30, the Saturn colorway as they call them, like the new colorway.
Oh, you showed me the.
Yeah, it's like a white or grayish white controller with like the multicolored A, B, and C buttons like a Saturn pad.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like I would use that on there. Like I would like to use that on the Saturn. So what I want to do though, since it's Bluetooth, is I got the N64 one so that I could use the Switch Online N64 controller with real hardware, and it works.
I think you should. I think you should do a video on some of this.
Well, I will once like they're all once I have them all, then I will do it.
Yeah, you should definitely do a video.
But yeah, I mean, Shinjan, like that's the thing. I don't want to use a PS5 controller on an NES or SNES either. But that's what I'm trying to do, is just try to make it so that I can use official controllers like that are at least close to as they can be. You know, like M30 on the 3DO, like I feel like that's about as close as you could get, and especially since it will work with, Super Street Fighter 2, like a 6-button controller. I'd much rather use that than even a modded official 3DO controller, if there was even such a thing. Can you use a Switch Online N64 controller with Mister? Probably. I don't know what you'd want to use it for.
I don't know. I mean,
N64 is not out yet.
Yeah, I mean, you could use it with an NES controller.
Yeah. Yeah. So Shinjan, like 3DOs, you say 3DO needs help. I have original 3DO controllers. They are bad. And I had heard a long time ago, and it did make kind of a little bit of a difference, that the screws on them are just like really, really tight. And if you loosen the screws just a touch, like the D-pad has a bit more like give on it. What else? Yeah, so the thing is, and this annoys me to no end, is that there was a PS1 adapter, like a Blue Retro PS1 and PS2 adapter, and I saw that Retroscaler made them. You know, Retroscaler, which is also Kaiko, and I saw that someone else was selling them, and I ordered from this other seller thinking like, oh, maybe this is just like somebody else that made them, and then it's just like a Retroscaler version that they bought and are selling.
Man, this part's hard.
So I was kind of annoyed about that. I am using it because I feel like that's got to be faster than using the what's their faces, the Brook Accessories ones, but I hope that someone else makes them, because I will buy those in a second. What do I think about Brook's controller adapters? They're pretty good. I mean, I use the one for the Dreamcast right now to use a Xbox controller on the Dreamcast, and it has like the built-in VMUs. What I do want to get, though, is I want to get one of those, like the fighting game community adapters, but they're like sold out everywhere. Because I just want to be able to use my arcade stick on Street Fighter 5. And that's like the only way it works. The Gaming Nostalgist has had a $5 donation. Thank you. And says, I can confirm that the Switch Online N64 controller works with Mister. My buddy beat Gamera 2000 with it.
Well, there you go.
Gamera 2000.
I guess it uses analog control. But
yeah, maybe it probably uses the... Yeah, I mean, it's a PS1 game, I think.
I'd be curious if there was like what the specific reason for using that controller with it was.
Yeah.
It seems like a strange choice, but I haven't played Gamera 2000. It looks awesome though. That was the what game of what was it, the Mister episode? No. What episode started off with Gamera 2000? Was it the memory card?
As a memory card video. Yeah. Oh, Alex Gavin, I'm sorry. I will. Let me just back up. I really apologize. I missed a $5 super chat from two people. I'm sorry. Sorry, y'all.
It happens.
Yeah. There's $5 from Alex Gavin 13 minutes ago saying, "Evening, gents. Thoughts on the XDusa HDMI adapter? I know the Xbox HD Plus is still the best, but for half the price and less work, could it maybe be good enough?"
The what?
So is the XDusa, is that the one from Bihar Bros? I'm assuming that it is.
Wait, what? I was distracted. What?
The XDusa Xbox adapter. It's probably the same thing.
What?
I would to use HDMI to convert the Xbox to HDMI.
Oh, okay.
It just plugs in. It's the same thing, you know.
So it's an analog to digital.
Yeah. I'm sure that it's probably way more worth it than the Eon thing that's coming out, which I cannot believe the price on that thing.
I know. How much is it?
It's like $190.
No. But I mean the
XDusa. I assume that's the Bihar Bros one.
Yeah, but how much is it?
I think it's like. Well, let me find out. I hope that I'm right. Oh, it's $70.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean,
I could guarantee you that is more worth it without even testing it.
yeah. I mean, it looks like it has component pass through and HDMI out. If they both work at the same time, then that is like 100% worth it. Like, I have no idea why the Eon one is so expensive, except for the fact that they just think they can do it. But I guarantee, I feel like it's probably not selling well. I would be very, very curious to find out how well it's selling.
I mean, I actually, I don't think I mentioned this to you. I recently got another Xbox, so I could, have another with component, because the only working one I have right now is the HDMI monitor.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, it's pretty finicky with capture. So it looks nice on the TV. I mean, it's 480p, but it looks nice, but it's finicky with capture. So I haven't actually tested it yet. In fact, I kind of just want to get it like fully refurbished before I even turn it on, although I was told it is working.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't really want to risk doing anything with it until I can get it worked on. But yeah, I was in need of an Xbox that could actually do component output.
Yeah. Also, there was $4.99 from John H.
Thank you.
Saying, just got in the stream. Do you guys have AES systems or do you use multi-carts? So I have a Omega MVS, consoleized MVS, and you have a MV1C, right?
I have an MV1C with a super gun designed by Coury.
Right.
And
AES is way out of our price range.
oh yeah. And technically I have a multi-cart. But even though it was fixed up, I'm still kind of like paranoid to use it. I only have a small handful of Neo Geo MVS cards.
Wait, you're paranoid to use it?
The multi-cart. I know you said it was fixed up.
Yeah. But is that that's the one I gave you, right?
Huh?
Is that the one I gave you? Is that the one I gave you?
It to me. I forget who you said.
Oh, Smoke Monster
Monster?
replaced
couldn't
rewired it so that it's like not dangerous.
Yeah, but I'm still like, it's still just like I've just been told
Are you
over and
saying you
over
don't trust
use
Smoke
multi-cards, and even though I know it's been fixed, I'm still just like,
So you're saying you don't trust Smoke Monster?
I trust Smoke Monster. It's just like a, but everyone says this is bad to put in your system.
Well, I mean, but
trust
that's
Smoke
why it's been
Monster.
fixed.
I couldn't remember who you told me fixed it though, but I mean, I've just got, like, I feel like if I just got Metal Slug 1, I would be like completely satisfied, because I've got Metal Slug 2X and 3, and Shock Troopers 1 and 2. And if I just had Metal Slug 1, I would feel done. Like, I wouldn't mind, like, I mean, something like Sengoku. Well, I don't know which is considered the good Sengokus, actually. But, like, they seem pretty cool, but, like, I think they're, like, extra expensive.
Okay. I mean, I is 1 expensive now?
What, Metal Slug 1?
Yeah.
No, I think it's, I mean, in the grand scheme of MVS games, I think it's relatively cheap.
Okay.
But I just don't have it. You don't see.
Yeah.
You don't see, if you're out shopping, you don't see Neo Geo games every day.
Right. I do slightly regret not getting that Neo Turf Masters when we were at the Midwest Gaming Classic. I mean, I think about it quite a bit, because then I was thinking about it all weekend. Like, do I want to do it? Do I want to do it? No, I shouldn't do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
While you were on vacation, you were just thinking about that Neo Turf Masters.
Yes, I was when I was like in front of the immense size of Niagara Falls. I was just looking at it, and I was just thinking, I should have gotten that Neo Turf Masters. You know what? In stressful times, I can think of nothing else other than wishing that my life is actively worse because I did not buy that Neo Turf Masters. But yeah, I mean, I wish I'd gotten that. But, you know, it is what it is. I do have basically everything else that I would want for the system, which isn't a whole lot. I have Metal Slug 1, 2, 3, and X. And Blazing Star, which is a good one. That one was given to me by Artemio.
Oh yeah,
and of course the first Shock Troopers. But the other, like the last one I thought was gonna be like, it was like the last game that I wanted was Neo Drift Out, and I had never seen that one pop up like for sale like anywhere. And I saw it at like, it was right after the pandemic started. There was somebody in like Argentina or something like that had a whole bunch of MBS cards that was selling them on this group on Facebook. And I immediately said, I want that Neo Turf Masters. And I paid for it, and they shipped it. And it took, like, with the pandemic and everything, I wasn't even sure if I was going to get it. You know, I waited like over 4 months for it to show up. And eventually it did. And I thought, hey, I'm done. And I was done until I saw that Neo Turf Masters, and I was like, well, maybe I could get that sometime. There was $2 from Wayne Johnzak saying the #1 cable for PS2 with RetroTink 5X. I would either say it's the HD Retrovision, or as I like to say, the HD Retrovisions. I just call all the cables the HD Retrovisions.
The plural.
Yeah, like that's just all of them may as well just be one cable called the HD Retrovisions.
That makes me think of how it's been this running gag on DF Direct that Alex calls Game Pass Games Pass.
Games
and
Pass.
Like, well, you know, it is. There is more than one game on there. It's Games Pass.
Yeah. Yes, I do. I can understand that.
But anyway, that, or you know, the officials are good. think the monsters are pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean,
those are,
yeah, I'm sure the monsters are totally fine for the time. But, you know, like the officials are good. And you can even find PlayStation 3 ones, like official PlayStation 3 ones that will work with it. The good thing about the official ones is they're actually like really long. They're surprisingly long. They have they got some length to them. You can put your system really far away from it if you so choose to do so.
I mean, of course, official came in multiple configurations over the years. Like the
Yes.
official one I have is a PS2 one. And honestly, I'm off the top of my... I know I've tested them all before, but I don't recall if I like ever specifically tested like, hey, is the PS2 era cable just as good for like 720p? I'm actually not sure.
Yeah.
Because like I know, like for example, the HD Retrovision Wii cable apparently is technically better than the official, but like not in a way you would notice on the Wii. However, if you were trying to use it with 720p on the Wii U, apparently you can start to see a difference.
Yeah. There's also $5 from Rent Optional. Thank you. Saying, did you know? Did you know that you can play nearly the entire Neo Geo CD library on a Dreamcast via a mode or burn discs? Just need the Neo for All patched CDI. Interesting.
Is it
I even heard that.
emulation, or is there?
Yeah, like I wonder how that works.
Is there like a hardware aspect of it that I don't know about?
Maybe I can. If I'm too loud, I can bring it down. Am I too loud? Because my audio is cranked, and I'm all up in this mic.
Yeah, I did notice that yours was probably
I turned it down
too
a little
loud
bit.
early in the stream.
I lowered it to a very just a menial amount. Menial. But that's pretty interesting. I had no idea that was the case. I mean, it's great to try that and see if it's how it works. But now that now that it's on the Mister, like I definitely want to
I feel
explore that a little bit. I'm surprised it wasn't added sooner, but it's pretty exciting. And they're increasing load times. Because the original version came out just like the same day that I left town, so I downloaded, installed it, and copied a bunch of CHD files over, like the CHD, like the smaller CD images, or as CGQ, Chris from Classic Gaming Quarterly calls them. He calls them chud files.
like the what was the underground, the cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers?
Oh, what? What?
There's a movie.
Oh, the movie. Duh. Yes.
Yeah. I think that's what it stands for, right?
Oh, I don't know. For some reason, I always get chud and ghoulies like messed up for some reason, like in my mind. I don't know why. Chud. But yeah, he calls them chud files, which I think is kind of funny. Oh, the movie Chud has Daniel Stern in it. Daniel Stern of Wonder Years voiceover fame.
I've seen it, but I remember very little about it.
I'm not going to say Daniel Stern of Home Alone fame. Was Daniel Stern? Was he in City Slickers? Or am I?
I saw that movie like when I was a kid, so I don't really remember it. But that sounds right.
He may have been. He may have been. Okay, so he was in City Slickers. All right. I was just talking about the Neo Geo CD pad. I put a pre-order in for it because I had no idea that it was even announced. Because I've been kind of cut off. If I wasn't driving most of this time, we were doing something, roasted marshmallows, that kind of thing. So I didn't spend a lot of time. I didn't spend a lot of time except for scrambling to install the Threads social app, and immediately was overwhelmed and stopped using it because I could not tell for even a second like what was going on. So Threads is like Facebook's Twitter competitor.
Right. I mean, I heard it was some big deal that it launched or whatever.
Yes, it was a big deal that it launched, and you can link it to the Instagram, and so just like, I just did it because I want to, grab the username,
Right.
But since it just like imports it automatically. But I could not tell what was going on. It was. I
heard it's very much like a Twitter type situation where they hope beyond all hope that you will view what they want you to view and not just view chronologically.
Yeah, which is like
so
literally what everybody wants.
That's literally what everybody wants. Literally, like no one doesn't want that.
Yes.
No one.
Nobody.
Except
you're absolutely right. Like, nobody wants to not have control over what they look at. Every single person does not want to just be fed what they think we would like. It's really obnoxious. So I used it for like a minute, and then I felt like it was like really draining the battery on my phone, super, super quick. And then I just immediately turned off all notifications and stopped looking at it. And I have not looked at it in days because it's just like I could not tell what was going on at all.
I mean, it was probably chaotic because it was launched. I mean, does it in any way like import your at least your Instagram followers?
It does, yes, it does. But the thing is, like, it imported all the people that were on there immediately and showed me none of them. Like it was like the only thing I was seeing is like nobody that I followed. So it was only showing me what it wanted me to see. Like not even for a second, like anything that like I actually wanted to see. So I just I stopped looking at it. It's just I mean, as Paul Sutton says, the only reason I joined up with Twitter to begin with is Wario64, and it's true.
And I mean, then like when when Twitter started to look like it might be unstable, Wario64 made he might have already had
a Discord.
But, there's a Discord now where you can just it just is a feed
shows you his tweets.
Twitter post.
And there is an option that you can put that into your own Discord.
Oh, really?
I could make it so that it somehow shows up in ours. I don't know what that would do exactly. I'm afraid to activate. I'm afraid to
like a regular
I feel like it's not
channel.
something I could make it look and work the way that I want it to work. Because what I would want it to do is like if that feed, his Twitter feed, could just like automatically post in our deals and marketplace channel. I do see that the BBA 935 says join Mastodon, and I made an account. I made an account on there. I probably put 2 posts on there. It's just that I can't sit there and be like I gotta track 4 different social I created a Blue Sky because I wanted to be able to read it, but I'm not going to post on all these. There's just too much stuff.
I mean, the only thing really that's useful about Twitter is just the fact that it has its broad reach. right? It's a very
Yeah, but all
broad
that's like
reach. And
kind
so
of
if
is
you
going
want
away.
to
And
put out a message that a lot of people will see, it's useful for that. But like I am like so like I mean I lost interest in Twitter before it was cool to lose interest in Twitter, right? Like I lost interest in Twitter like 7 years ago. Like I don't think I posted in like 5 or 7 years or something. And uh like I mean I've always like really in general had not much interest in social media. That's the only social media I ever kind of engaged with. And so like I'm not actively looking for a Twitter replacement or anything like that. So like oh, final mission, how about that?
this is like a super short game. But I
Well,
bet
I
you
mean,
there's more.
most Metal Slugs are, but I thought this might be a little longer. But it's got like collectibles and stuff. But anyway, like I feel like Discord like more than fulfills and replaces my need for. Like I like Discord because it's like, you know, it's my AIM replacement, it's my forum replacement, it's my Twitter replacement, and it does it all in a way that I prefer to any of those, and I feel much more in control of like what I interact with and what I engage in, and it's smaller, more tight-knit communities and one-on-one conversations and stuff like that, and it's just it's more in line with anything I would be interested in, you know?
Yes. I mean, I don't mind if, like, I kind of like Instagram because it's like you can scroll through and just like look at the photos.
I've never really looked at Instagram, but
I mean, I like that as a way to just like
posted on ours a handful of times.
At least it's just like it's easy to look at, you know, like that's what I like about it. But I don't know. Right now, it seems like there's too many things. I do hope that, like, of everything that has come out, like, I think that Blue Sky is the only one that I've like enjoyed using to an extent. But it's just like there needs to be more people. And you know, I like the. I don't know. It's the one that feels the best. Maybe it's just because there's like actively like way less noise on there.
Well, I think I heard that you on Blue Sky you can just do chronological sorting, right?
Yes, yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, I say of course is like you
yeah.
I know, and it's like yeah.
I mean the way
exactly
that
what
Twitter
you're just
used to
railing against. What's that?
The way that Twitter used to be.
Yes, I mean it can. Twitter is like that if you want it to be.
Well,
but it's it's just like it's just too much. Like it's
unless you want to use a third party.
Yeah.
Right? I thought you couldn't do that. Just like
well, I stopped using Twitter like really once they removed the ability to use. I guess
what I'm saying, like if you're just right, but
if you're using the original like the Twitter's own app, it's not going to show you everything in chronological order. But I was using Tweetbot on my phone, and I really like that. That's the only time I would use Twitter is on my phone. And I liked Tweetbot, but once they got rid of the ability to use, you know, third-party apps, that's when I really stopped. It just like all fell off from there. Anyways, I got a couple of donations I got to catch up on. There was $2 from Wayne Johnzak. Thank you. Saying, who's working on a great HDMI adapter for the PS2? And I think the PS2 digital is going to be out this year.
Yeah, I mean that's.
I think it's pretty close, honestly. It seems like things are coming together pretty fast with it.
Yeah, I mean,
they've been working on it for a while, but I think it's pretty close. I mean, hopefully.
I mean, given their expertise and track record, there's almost no way that's not going to be amazing.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we were talking about the Xbox HDMI adapters, and I feel like once there's an Xbox digital, like I think they were working on it at a point, but I think that they just have too many other things right now to work on. You know, like that's like they feel like their solution for things feels like what I want to install and everything.
Yeah. I mean, I love their firmware and scaling settings and stuff like that. I mean, they really have that figured out.
Yeah. But yeah, I would say the PS2 digital will be out sometime this year, and you can likely expect a video from us on it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's also $10 Canadian from Scott Blurton. Scott Blurton with $10 Canadian, saying finally broke down and brought a PVM 14M2U from eBay and hooked it up. It's neat, but definitely not life-changing. One surprise is that I'm much better at UN Squadron than I thought. The lag is real. Yeah, I mean, I think that it's kind of an interesting thing right now because I wonder how people getting CRTs now are like after it's been like hyped for it's been like hyped up by like so many people for so long now.
Right.
I wonder if there's anything that could like theoretically live up to the expectations
because
now.
of
because of
the high price, like the amount that your life improves per dollar spent is less now than it was.
Yeah, 100%. But when they were like, under $100, it's like, this is so worth it. This is life changing because this is awesome for not for basically like almost free in the scheme of things. But when you're paying like hundreds or thousands of dollars, then it becomes diminished returns. You're right.
I'm going to go pick up my 20L5 from Steve in a couple of weeks.
Oh, do you get it fixed?
We think so. I mean, he never witnessed the issue.
Oh, so you're making the trip in a couple weeks? That's cool. Nice. But I do want to say that UN Squadron might be like one of the best shooters ever. The Super Nintendo version specifically.
It's so hard though.
But it's just an awesome game. Just an awesome game. Might be, it's like one of the best shooters. And I just love how much is added into it. There's also $2 from Alex Gavin. Thank you. Saying, what are you seeing first? Barbie or Oppenheimer? I'll probably see Barbie first. Nothing against Chris Nolan, and it does look awesome. But I don't think I've seen a Christopher Nolan movie since Interstellar.
I watched that 3 months ago.
Interstellar?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
It's pretty fun.
I mean, I don't know if I'd say it's fun.
Oh, maybe not fun. It was enjoyable.
If fun is being on a planet where time years pass like in seconds.
I mean,
if that's fun. It's like such a neat thing.
Yeah, it's neat.
Like a
it's
neat
neat
idea
to see it play
or
out.
neat. It's neat, but I haven't seen what was I didn't see Dunkirk or I didn't see what was the last one he did? Tenet. I didn't see that.
Oh wow!
What?
Oh, he's not done. I was gonna say that laser tore him up.
But yeah, I'll probably end up seeing Barbie first because I feel like my wife and daughter are gonna go see it, and I think seems like it might be funny to go see. I mean, it looks like super like weird. So let me scroll up here. Let me find Henry Clark was asking, any suggestions to protect cardboard boxes? Cardboard boxed TurboGrafx 16 when shipping. I don't see those useful cardboard cases like Nintendo consoles have available. So I would probably put them maybe like inside of another cardboard box inside of that with like wrapping around it. You were saying earlier that you got a couple of like complete boxed TurboGrafx games. Are you like reselling them? Because one of those was Ease Book 1 and 2. But what I would do is like maybe put it in a box and put it like inside of another box. Oh, so you got it for $100, or you're selling it for $100 complete? 'Cause I would totally probably buy that, or 100% complete. Oh, Use Book 1 and 2, Splatterhouse, R-Type, and Bloody Wolf. Bloody Wolf.
Bloody Wolf. I got
But
a
it Bloody
Japanese
Wolf.
version of that not long ago. Although I think that's a case where I want to say the Japanese and American versions are relatively similar priced. Just happen to get the Japanese one.
Yeah. Got it for 127. So you probably went in there, saw all these box TurboGrafx games, saw the price on them, and you were like,
I'm interested in this.
I'm waiting for
I
it.
don't know if that was coming through to you or not.
I didn't hear it.
Oh my gosh, really? How about now?
I'm interested in this.
Yeah, it sounded fairly
Okay.
loud.
Oh, really?
I
It's
mean-
it's very loud here.
I mean, not sure how people at home. I mean, it wasn't like uncomfortably loud for me, but it sounded like a lot louder than you.
Good deal. Bloody Wolf. Has anybody know anybody that would pronounce wolf like woof? It's Bloody Wolf.
Did you know
It was
anyone that
about nearly
pronounced
twice
wolf
as
like
loud
that?
as the screen. Maybe it's coming through my microphone too.
I mean, I definitely feel like I've heard that, but not in the way that
Oh,
I
okay.
will recall who I heard say it.
They're calling the Bloody Wolf? Shit. Do we plan on doing a video on the Mr. Saturn core once it's out of beta and release? We probably do a stream on it. I mean, it is very unlikely that we're going to do like very heavy, like produced video Mr. content after that. It just changes too much. And what I think is really good about our video is that it really, I think that it has really stood the test of time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of the information in it is at least still like pretty relevant
Whoa!
because it's kind of general in that way.
Right.
You guys know any interesting Metal Slug facts? Did you know that in Japan they're on Metal Slug 12?
What?
That's what I heard. I heard that Metal Slug was made by the same people that made Gun Force. There was a
I saw
in Japan in Japan the second one was actually a totally different game. And was released as Metal Slug 2 here.
on one of the recent GameSack episodes. I forget which one, but there was some about is it Undercover Cop? Is that what it's called? It was like a Super Nintendo game, and it's like arcade and Super Nintendo, and I guess it was like before In the Hunt.
What are you talking about? Gun Force?
No, I think it was called like Undercover Cop or something like that.
Oh, Undercover Cop. Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
I
I'd have to look. Oh.
It was something.
I do want to second what Henry Clark is saying if you're interested in keeping up with the Mr. News and releases, Lou's Retro Source is a great channel on YouTube.
Yeah, and it's cool that he's like, I mean, I haven't really kept up with it too good myself, but like he posts on Retro RGB now and stuff too, which and it's cool because like I remember when I referenced his because I learned from his channel how to do the Wii remote as a light gun on
Right.
Mister, and I used that in the Super Scope episode. And his channel was really small at the time, so it seems like it's definitely gotten a lot more recognition in the past few years.
Well, what I like what's really good about the channel also is just like it's like no nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like here's the information, and it's like broken down really quickly. That it just like gets you the information that you want as fast as you want it, or as you need it. Although, like every time I see it, he always puts in his thumbnails, he always puts like pictures of Narc.
Of
The
Narc?
arcade game Narc, and I'm like,
So that's his.
I'm waiting for that core to be out. Because I mean, you ever played Narc?
I played the NES version, maybe the
Oh.
arcade version at some point.
The NES version's atrocious, really.
Wow.
But the arcade game is like it's so over the top.
I mean, I actually don't think I have Narc on NES anymore, but I used to because, I mean, it was actually one of the games that I got back in the Funko Land days just because I was kind of fascinated by, pre-Donkey Kong Country rare games. And
Okay.
they did the NES port.
Of Narc?
I think so. It's been a long time, but that's my memory. I'm pretty sure that's the reason I bought it back then. Was because it was rare. I think.
Well, the arcade game is real fun. And Chris Waters says the last boss of Narc is impossible.
I'm sure I've played it at some point.
It's just like real violent in a very funny way.
Yes.
And the fact that the bad guys throw hypodermic needles at you.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. But I like that you have the option of arresting the bad guys too. But like, why wouldn't you shoot them with a rocket launcher, or run them over with your Porsche with machine guns on the front of it? You like, I mean, is that like how many games like would be improved if you just like threw in a Porsche with machine guns on the front?
I
mean, imagine this game, Metal Slug Advance, with a Porsche, like a cherry red Porsche, convertible, the top down, and it has machine guns on the front. I mean, like any game you play, it doesn't matter what it is. Throw one of those things into Final Fantasy 16 for all I care. It's going to make it a better game. Imagine fighting like, I don't know. If we weren't going to stream tonight, I was going to finally boot up Final Fantasy 16.
That sounds like streaming sounds like a bad way to start it.
No, I was not going to play. I was not going to start it.
Oh.
No, I said if we weren't going to stream tonight, that's what I was going to do. So it's kind of funny. You just get unlimited continues here, huh? Unlimited attempts at this thing. And you start right at
so
it.
there's like a checkpoint every screen transition.
Jake says cars have no place in Final Fantasy, but have you ever played a Final Fantasy game that had a cherry red Porsche convertible with machine guns on front? I mean, you say it has no place, but you've never played one with it in there. I bet it would make it a better game.
I mean, Final Fantasy 4 has a
what if it's just a summon? like the Porsche is just a summon.
Like, there's nothing wrong.
I mean,
with
how?
cars in Final Fantasy. I mean, you know.
Imagine that though. Imagine it's a Porsche and you can drive it around, and then you can have it turn into like a suit of armor, and it's like Jazz from Transformers.
I mean, the fun thing about Final Fantasy really is, that there's so many different, futuristic fantasy and fantasy, and like I said, Final Fantasy 4 has everything.
Yes. Imagine a Porsche in Final Fantasy 4. You can it's the only thing in the game you can drive over mountains with.
drive over mountains with a Porsche. I mean, I'm no car guy, but I have a feeling that Porsches aren't known for their.
Okay, well, what if? Okay,
their off-road. Goodness.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. Like, what if Final Fantasy IV has Jeep Thrills in it?
What if?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it would definitely improve Final Fantasy 15.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there are a few things you could do to Final Fantasy 15 to not.
Yeah. I mean, it'd probably make it like a really good game if you just had a cherry red Porsche with machine guns mounted on the front. Oh, and it's a convertible. The top's down so that the characters can jump in at any time. And when you're not driving, it just follows you, waiting for its moment for it to heed your call. That's like my favorite line in Final Fantasy 12. When you first run into Fran and Balthier, and and Van jumps onto the back of their hover bike, and she says, "It's not heating me." You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. It just won't do.
Yeah, it's not heating me. I like that. You know what I love? I love Fran's kind of weird accent in that game. What's the name of her race of
Vera.
character? What is it?
Vera in Final Fantasy 16 kind of sound like that too.
Oh, they're I didn't know they were in 16.
Well, they were added in Shadow Legends.
Oh, and 14.
What did I say?
You said 16.
Oh, I meant 14.
Okay, I for a second there I thought that maybe, because 16 isn't in Ivalice, or as I always said until I heard him pronounce it, I always said Ivalice, and I think Ivalice sounds better.
Really? I don't like that.
I've always said Ivalice until I heard the actual pronunciation. I think Ivalice sounds better. Anyways.
Yeah, Vera were added, and they kind of sound like that. And actually, there's a country in Final Fantasy 16 that the people kind of sound a little like. I actually like looked up a male Vera character's voice actor, a male Vera from Final Fantasy 14. Who's like kind of a minor character that was introduced in Endwalker. So it's like some of these people in 16 from Waloed sound kind of like Aaron though, but I couldn't find any evidence that he was in 16. But anyway, like I kind of thought their accent sounded a little similar. Like, and there's almost like it's an accent, but there's also like it almost sounds like their nose is like slightly pinched. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then again, I have not. Are you talking about 12?
Yeah. Like, well,
Yeah, I mean, I've not replayed it since that. Since I guess I played the opening of it up until that scene. Once I saw that scene is when I stopped playing it. I should really revisit it.
Zodiac Age was the first game I played through on an OLED.
I know. Hey, I'm gonna fill up my drink. I'll be right back.
Okay. Sorry, I will not be paying too much attention to the chat whilst Coury is away. As this class requires my full attention. Like it's pretty easy to avoid damage during large swaths of it, but then it becomes, I don't know. Each boss in this game does seem to have like multiple phases, which is interesting. I think the hardest part is when the court's protected and you've got to destroy those drones. Although there is a different pattern for the lasers at the bottom that is sometimes a little difficult. Now the drones do seem to blow up with grenades pretty quickly. Like in a lot of ways, this, even though it's got like infinite continues, in some ways, I think some of the design is more difficult than the main line metal slugs. You know, even though you have the life bar and stuff. Unfortunately, it's so difficult to even grab the weapon drops that very seldom come. Yeah. Dang it. Ugh. Usually that part at the bottom isn't that hard. Sometimes I'll do it to you. Oh, 3 of those? 4? What? Garbage. be getting so close. Should be that much longer after it starts to blow up. This boss is gonna be half the street. Wow, great start here. Ugh! Wow. Doing good. That was a lousy one.
All right, you're still fighting this thing.
This is the last boss, so I assume.
It's like harder than any other, like than the entire rest of the game combined.
Yeah, I mean, the game is fairly challenging overall, but yeah, this is not an easy boss.
So when we were driving today, we stopped for food, and you know, my kids are gonna say, if you ask kids, like most kids, you say, where do you want to go for dinner? They're gonna say McDonald's.
Yeah.
And they got the Grimace shake.
Yeah.
And let me be clear. Like if we go to McDonald's and they get a milkshake, like it's like finished before like they eat anything else.
Before what?
Before they eat anything else, they'll like usually finish their milkshake first. And they both got the Grimace milkshake, and neither one of them finished it.
Wow.
Period. I mean, for a milkshake to like just, you know, where two kids just like flat out won't even finish it, like not even like drink half of it, really.
Wow.
I think that really says something.
Did
I taste one? I did. I you know, I drank the rest of one of them.
well, what
And it's I mean, it kind of tastes like blueberry muffins in a way. It's not great, but you know, like I'm the kind of person where things like that, even if I don't like it, I will continue to drink them and eventually not mind it.
Sure.
And I mean, it's not something I would go and like say I'm gonna get that and I'm gonna drink it because I want it. But if it's right there, like I'll drink the rest of it. It's just not very good. And the fact that neither of my kids even finished came close to finishing it says a lot.
I mean, do your kids normally go for like chocolate or vanilla?
Yeah,
Like a
those are the only
or
ones.
something?
Although you know, my son's been opting for the like the frozen Fantas lately,
Oh,
which they have, which you know they have the blue raspberry Fanta, which is good stuff.
man,
You know,
I just can't drink American Fanta without just being mad. Because like in German class in high school, like we learned about Fanta as being this like, you know, soft drink that was popular in Germany. It was before Fanta was here, or at least Fanta didn't exist where I was. And man, when I got to go to Germany, I had Fanta and it was great. Especially, I one time found a lemon Fanta and it was like, it remains to this day like the best thing I've ever drank in my life. It was like a really sour lemonade, but carbonated. And I know there are other things like that, and I've tried them, but it's never been quite as good as my memory, at least,
Right.
of that lemon Fanta in Germany. And like then Fanta came here several years later, and it's just nowhere close to this. And every time I try it, I'm like, oh, there's different flavors now. Maybe I'll try Fanta. And it's just like, nope. It's profoundly disappointing every time.
Is that how it's supposed to be pronounced, as Fanta?
That's how I say it. I mean, that's how
I
you
thought it
would
was like
say
Fanta,
it in
like
German.
fantastic.
It was in Europe before it was here. So.
I always thought it was like short for fantastic. I mean, I remember going to the movie theater and seeing advertisements for it, and like they had a thing where like these girls were dancing to it, and they were called the Fantanas, the fabulous Fantanas.
Wow. I learned to say it Fanta, I'm pretty sure.
I didn't know if this was like a Insomniac situation.
I mean, for all I know, it could be. German class was a very long time ago.
I didn't even know they had other flavors. I just thought it was blue raspberry and cherry, which are basically like they basically taste exactly like those flavors of Airheads.
Wait, Fanta?
Or those. Yeah,
Like,
the frozen fan.
Oh, frozen.
Fanta.
Frozen. Like, oh, I
But
mean,
they're like frozen Cokes, but they're Fanta, and it's like
I
blue
always think
raspberry
of
and cherry
orange
flavor.
is like the default Fanta.
What?
I always think of orange as like the default Fanta.
I mean, I've never seen orange. I've seen like Orange Crush.
Wait, I mean, orange Fanta's the default color, the default flavor. To me.
I mean, it's like they have blue raspberry and cherry.
Wow.
I wonder if they're like secretly maybe Fanta and Fanta or something different.
No, they're the same brand, but I mean, the contents of the drink is radically different. I mean, at least in Germany versus here, because it was amazing in Germany and it sucks.
I just want to say really quick that I'm not sure if you've been in this chat before, but you have one of the best usernames I've ever seen, and that is Tony Baloney.
Yeah, it's
Well,
definitely up
Tony
there.
Bologna, if you're phonetically pronouncing it, but Tony Baloney is like that's a pretty good name. We got Tony Baloney on the phone again.
We've definitely had some.
Who's this guy think he is? Tony Baloney? Hey,
I want to see you play a gangster in a movie.
you know what? I know Tony Baloney, and this guy, he ain't no Tony Baloney.
This is tough. This is gonna be half the stream as the final boss.
I know.
I gotta do it.
You ever call him like Tones Balones?
Toes below.
What is that? Oh, that might be fireworks somehow outside. So when we were watching the fireworks at my in-laws on 4th of July, like we saw this thing floating through the air. It looked like it was just like a small, like flaming ball of fire floating through the air very slowly. And I'm watching it very slowly move towards me, and I'm like, what is that? And here I am thinking that, like, what if this is like a missile or something? I'm looking at it. I'm like, I'm just like, I've literally never seen anything like this in my entire life. Like, what is happening here? And it goes behind some trees and never comes back out. And apparently, like, I think that there's like these like lantern things that people have been using.
Or like those like Japanese lanterns or whatever.
I guess, or
Is
something
that
like
flying
that.
lantern things.
Yeah, I didn't know that was like a thing. But I'm sitting here looking at this thing and I'm like, am I like staring at a slow moving like end of human civilization right now? Like, what is going to happen? And then nothing happened. But then, after I had heard like, oh, maybe it was one of those like the flying lantern type things, I had this dream last night that someone like unleashed a whole bunch of those flying lanterns and they like crashed into a bunch of buildings and like set them on fire and stuff.
Oh, I had to have been so close.
But I just like, what if I'm like witnessing something incredible happening right now? Eric, I had nothing that night. I wish it was 8 ancient aliens. Yeah. And then I got some binoculars out and I saw that it was a red convertible Porsche with machine guns on the front. It was on fire, flying through the air. Thanks, Mr. Doss, for the idea. It saved the world, turned into a robot. It turned into a suit of armor. The thing is like this boss is like ultra not interesting.
I mean, I hope there's not another form, or at least not
Like they're
another
use this
form
thing to
before.
conquer the world, and just imagine like this is what they're doing with it. How good is PCSX 2? Haven't really used it like at all. You've used it more than I
depends on
have.
the game. I mean, Drum played
Yeah.
through. I'm not going to talk about it. I had to have been
Get 'em?
so close.
Well, we don't know if you're close.
Huh?
Is it catching on fire?
Yeah, it catches on fire or something.
Hmm.
I mean, I've seen that many times, but like I was doing really good.
Hmm. Henry Clark says I was watching that flying fireball get closer until it was just 6 feet from the edge, and I'm thinking maybe 6 feet ain't so far down. Oh.
That was very quiet.
I don't know why it's so quiet. The Big Poppy Big Poppy Churro says, Tony Baloney strikes again. Who's this guy think he is? Tony Baloney? Alex Gavin, and you said you installed OPL on my PS2 somewhat recently. I mostly like it 8 out of 10, few compatibility issues. Did you use the one that supports like exFAT hard drives? I haven't updated mine in a long time. I should see if there's a new version out of that. But that's kind of a game changer, I think. James Boone bought Puddle of Mud's greatest hits on UMD video last week. Solid $2 purchase. Wait, there's like... Is there more than 2 songs on it?
Wait, there's music UMDs?
There's music videos.
Oh.
But I don't understand how there would be more than like 1 or 2 songs on it. Like, they're pretty good. Representation of a one-hit wonder, I think. But James Boone's saying that their library is thick with thick with 2 C's on it. Does jumping into the red dot hurt you? Because you could probably move and dodge more if you could. Can you see it? Jump into the red dot and see if it...
I mean, it doesn't hurt me, but...
You could jump across then.
I mean, I'm not sure how useful that is, though, really.
Well, sometimes, like
the
gun
flame
upgrades
dodging part, I think, works best if you stay on one side. I guess it might make it easier to get some of the power-ups that the droids drop if I could jump to the other side safely. Because the second one seems to always drop a power-up, but it goes away really quick and it often doesn't fall where I can get it quickly. Like, this part with the flames coming out of the bomb is probably the easiest part.
Green flames. Green flames coming out. That's blue. It's a blue flame coming out of his bottom. Use the bombs.
Well, I use the bombs on the droids because you can't hurt it when those are out, and the bombs are pretty effective against them if you actually hit it.
You don't even have to reload your gun.
Tough. We're gonna do it.
There you go. Oh no. Oh, that was it.
We're gonna do it, but it's tough. Oh, I mean, I've gotten it to go into the fire mode many times.
No, this wasn't. This is an original home version. It's its own thing, as Mr. Dot says.
Yeah.
The GBA consolizer does not have rewind. It just... just plays games the way it's supposed to. It does have unlimited lives, yes. Yeah, but this little help. The strategy needs to be taking no damage. So what you need to be doing right now is hitting the boss without getting hit. That's the way to win, I think.
Yeah. Might be something to that.
See, James Boone, like, you know, I am so annoyed I did not get a Nijicon. I had one in my cart for like a good price, and I'm so annoyed about it. Okay, and I went back to buy it, and it was gone, and I realized in that moment that the seller that was selling it was undamned. You know, the person we used his he's like. I've used his and the video you did is the Waka, his Waka.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I should have bought that because it's like someone I know also. I'm so annoyed that I did not just buy it in that moment. But I desperately want to get one, but you know they're like all over $50.
You like twist the handle and it steers? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Like analog steer. I mean, it sounds like a weird concept.
It does, but I heard, like, I understand that it's really, really natural when you're playing.
I mean,
games that are made for it.
It's weird, but I agree. It makes sense.
Yeah. I think that would be like a good video. It's like all the games that work with that controller. You're doing really good there for a minute.
It does this thing in its second phase. Sometimes it does this thing where it does the lasers up top instead of down below, and that's easy to get around that.
There's $9.99 from Tony Escobar.
Oh, thank you.
Saying just throwing out support for Try's boss fight.
Well, I appreciate it.
Don't F it up, man.
If,
Do it for Tony. This one's for Tone.
the Tony that is not so full of blood.
Yeah. Do it for the Tone. What was that? Like doing it for the Gipper. What is that from? Like I'm sure someone can tell me it is. Like, do it for the Gipper. Doing it for Tone. For Tony. Yeah. Is it Ronald Reagan said we do it for the Gipper? I don't know. I just like then. I don't know where it's from. I just know that it's like
this is not a phrase.
Win one for the Gipper. That's it.
This is not a phrase I know. Well, what do I know? I never know.
The Gipper, like the Gipper is like that's hilarious though. Like
what would that even mean?
Exactly. There was $10 from Elk Plays and Paints.
Oh, thank you.
Saying, you fellas getting that 8-bit dough Neo Geo CD controllers? I almost got one of the special editions until I noticed the character sprites used to have one of those ugly smoothing filters nobody likes. Yeah, I'm just gonna get. I had no idea that it was even announced until I just saw it show up on Amazon today when I was just like looking over a couple of things because I bought what did I get from Amazon? They had like that Soul Hackers 2 for $14.99.
Oh, really?
I'm like, yeah. So I ordered that, and like at the bottom it was like, also of interest to you is the Neo Geo, this Neo Geo X 8-bit dough controller. I'm like, I was like, immediately.
Yeah, I'm interested by that. Although to be honest, I'm not sure if I've ever used one of those, like the Neo Geo CD controller. I don't even know if I would like it.
It's got them micro switches in it.
I mean,
But
and
the
see,
thing is, like-
I just don't give a crap about micro switches since
Well, what do you use to play Neo Geo games now?
Well, I haven't actually played my.
Oh, you're like, I haven't actually played my Neo Geo.
I have. I haven't played it since I got. I got the Brook adapter. For. Gosh, I can't even think off the top of my head what it's an adapter for. What controller I could use with it. DualShock 4, maybe? I don't remember.
Would you want to get like it for your Neo Geo to have like the accurate experience?
I mean,
Or don't you
maybe,
care?
But like, I could also just be as happy just using PlayStation controllers with it.
Oh.
But I mean, I use like the converter, the USB converter. I mean, I tried several controllers with it before. I ended up using like the USB converter. I ended up using like might be like a PS. What did I end up using? I don't know. It's been a while since I played it. But I do want to try out that Brook adapter. I mean, we're playing Metal Slug 3 on the backlogger stream tomorrow, and maybe I'll try that. Well, like, I don't care about arcade sticks at all. I just like using them.
Right. Well, I mean, that's why I was like, oh, this is like kind of a good in between. You can get like that Neo Geo,
but
like authentic Neo Geo.
I still don't know if I would even like that compared to just a regular Vita. Like, I don't know if I would like it.
But you'd still get that. You'd still get the authentic
Well,
experience.
Sure, and that's why I'm curious. But
I mean, that's why you probably would prefer to use the N64 controller versus like another form factor on that, right?
sure, like I never really have been able to get along with. Oh! It gets so hard at that part. Like, I never have an extra hit left when it does that.
Mm. Yeah, I mean that's the reason I want to get those, so that I have something that is accurate. Hopefully it's good. I think it will be.
Just did this one move.
People were saying you should always prioritize the H's.
They're really hard to get through there sometimes. Like you might fall a long ways and end up like losing a major window of opportunity that you could be doing damage to it, and you're jumping down to somewhere because it disappears like in a second.
Oh, okay.
Like it lasts a very short period. Like, see, I couldn't have gotten to it because that droid was blocking it. Like, it's just, like, I want to get it whenever I can. It does help a lot, but it's just, it's not always possible. Or safe.
Just when you thought you were gonna beat the game like pretty handily.
See, I just got it, but like now I've like, I mean, it is going into this place, so I guess I do have a lot of opportunity to hit it, but yeah, I mean, they're really good to get. They make a big difference, but sometimes you can't because they're like almost immediately like blinking out.
Exactly. So one of the things we did yesterday, there's a state park like by where I grew up called Midway State Park. It used to be like it's a they have like rides and stuff, and it's been around for like 125 years. It's kind of cool, but they have like all these old rides and stuff. But it was a great place to take the kids. And I had been a lot when I was young. Everyone's saying that you are significantly quieter than me.
Yes, do not. Let's not.
You can't break his concentration.
This one feels good.
But we were there, and like there's a go-kart track, and my son and I went on, and I had him like use the phone on my camera to like film as we were going down the track, and it was actually kind of awesome. Like the video came out really good. It looks like Ridge Racer. Can you duck and shoot in this game? Like it's saying like, oh, you should might make hitting those like orb things better.
It was such a good run. It was such a good run. I like when it does the lasers at the top, and it's like on fire phase. Like I just like almost don't even know what to do. Like it feels like it's inevitable that you're going to take 2 hits. I mean, when it does that circular, even at the bottom, I don't think I've ever dodged it because the space between is so small. When it's shooting them randomly, it's pretty easy.
Well, since we're here, I'm gonna bust open this magazine here and see what kind of interesting things we can find. On the back, there's a Resident Evil ad. It says, if the suspense doesn't kill you, something else will. Yeah, so, I mean, at this point, in 96, May 96, was the end of my 11th grade year. I just must not have been reading it too closely at that point. You shoot faster when you duck?
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. But I mean, it's not like I can do that against the boss. I mean, the drones die in like a few bullets in a grenade.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look at it's your boy Marc Davis, the fishing master, right here. There he is.
What's the advertising?
A video game called Marc Davis's The Fishing Master. Look at him. Look at that guy.
It's your boy.
It's your boy Marc Davis.
Really good run, and I haven't had a good one going since.
This is the most realistic bass fishing simulation game ever. Developed under the direct supervision of Marc Davis,
Wow.
1995 Bass Masters Classic Champion and 1995 Bass Angler of the Year.
That means he like took a tour at the studio.
Yeah, welcome to Marc Davis's The Fishing Master. Your professional guide is Marc Davis, the only angler to ever win both the Bass Masters Classic and the Bass Angler of the Year in the same year. Different from fishing simulation games of the past, the fish cannot be seen until they bite. A level of realism never experienced before.
We have taken away your ability to see something. This is only something that you know our proprietary technology can do, is not show you the fish.
Join Marc Davis for a fishing experience you'll never forget as his digitized voice utters words of excitement or despair.
Utters?
What?
Utters?
It
just feels like
as his digitized voice utters words of excitement or despair. It's a fishing game. Whether you're an amateur or a longtime fishing master, you will love the thrill of catching the prize bass.
I just think using the word utters is like that alone is too intense for like a fishing guy.
I just think it's like
words of excitement and despair.
Or despair. I mean, if I see this game and it's got this dude on here, I like.
You kind of want to buy it now?
I feel like I want to. Let's see what Marc Davis fishing. What's he doing now?
I kind of wish I had Sega Bass Fishing for the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
I've got my cousin's old controller. My uncle played that one all the time. I've got the controller, but I don't have the game.
Dude, he's like won over $1 million, almost $2 million in winnings in his career. He's the 3-time Bass, and that's BASS, and it's like what is it, like an acronym for something?
Oh, it's like all in caps.
Yeah, with a period after each one. It's like BASS Angler of the Year 3 times. Uh-oh, what happened? Oh, I'm not fisherman shaming anybody. I just think it's really funny. It's like the fishing master. I like fishing. Okay, game of Resident Evil game of the month. You want to hear what everyone had to say about it?
Sure.
Here's what Andrew Barron had to say about it. Resident Evil is an interesting graphic adventure loaded with puzzles. At first look, Resident Evil is beautiful with detailed rooms that are set up in a realistic fashion. When looking closer at the game, I was a little disappointed to find the limitations of exactly what I could interact with. This game shines when it comes to monsters, however. They react realistically to your presence and are animated smoothly. As for the control, it's a bit bland. It's a bit hard to pick up. If you get surrounded, give up. There's no way to quickly rotate and fire. At least that I found out how to do so. The choice between the 2 chapters is nice. It would have been better if each had a completely separate storyline. Resident Evil is a visual feast, but the gameplay will turn off some players. So I got an 8.0, 9.5, 9.0, and 9.0. Also, right next to it, with a 9.5, 9.0, 8.5, 8.0, is Super Mario RPG.
Ooh.
Oh, how about that? So then there's Marsupialiami on the Genesis. The thing is I didn't realize that there is a new Marsupialiami.
Oh yeah.
It's one of my favorite game names called Marsupialiami Hooba Venture.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
have you heard
remember
of?
seeing that.
Yeah,
I
Hooba
remember
Venture.
when Marsupialami was like a cartoon.
Okay. I just think it's really
never
fun to say
watched it,
Hooba Venture. I have that. I think I might have gotten it for $14.99. I could not. Marsupialiami was a cartoon.
I thought it was
It's called
Marsupialami.
Hooba Venture. HOOBAVENTURE. Hooba Venture. That got a 6.0, 5.5, 6.5, 7.0. Then we got Iron Storm from Working Designs. Night Warriors on the Saturn. Panzer Dragoon 2 with a 8.0, 8.5, 8.5, 8.0.
I think Marsupialami might be like a European comic or something like that.
Yeah, probably. Marsupialiami.
But for the
Hooba
longest time,
Venture.
I only remember just seeing it advertised as like a cartoon on TV.
It's the old Hooba Venture. Hooba. Hooba Venture Gooding Jr. Hooba Gooding Jr. And we got Lucien's quest on the 3DO, which is the RPG.
That's so weird. to
Arena
think
on the
about.
Genesis?
Like, is that is it a Japanese RPG? That's just like the weirdest thing for me. to think
Developed by
about, is that
Panasonic,
RPG.
it's saying here. Those RPG fans who own a 3DO might want to try out Lucien's quest, but don't expect an enthralling storyline. Boom. Hoobastank, yes. Hoobastank. Maybe they'll make a Marsupialami Hoobastank sequel.
Is it Marsupialami? Because my memory of it, back when I saw commercials for it back in the day, I thought it was Marsupial.
It probably is, but you know what? Is MARSUPILAMI.
I think you're adding an F.
Marsupialami. Whatever. Marsupialami. It's easier for marsupilami to come out of my mouth for me to like enunciate it. Ooh, here's an exclusive PlayStation 2 update. A PlayStation 2 update from 1996. Like the PS1 is just out. 64-bit machine with more RAM and a tentative release date in the fall of '97. Thanks to some clever foresight on Sony's part, the new machine will play existing PlayStation software and ring up the registers to the tune of $299 to $399. Sony has made no secret that it's entering the PC hardware market. That's interesting that they thought that the PS2 was going to come out in '97.
That's wild.
Yeah. Oh, here it is. Batman Forever. Summer's not 96 was the summer of Batman Forever. Oh, here's some codes for Johnny Bazooka Tone. Oh, here we go. So here's the Time Machine 8th Anniversary Special Feature. Did the world really need a video game magazine back in 1988? Oh, this is kind of interesting. Steve Harris might have asked himself the same question the so-called experts were predicting a short life for video games. This is kind of interesting. It's like a flashback. It shows like all the issues and stuff. I feel like this one was almost sent to me on purpose. The number of pages the biggest issue of EGM ever contained is 402.
Oh, that's so hard to avoid.
I have not looked at the actual stream in 15 minutes at least. And I looked up again and saw that you were still fighting this. This is cool. I definitely want to look through it. It's like 6 pages of stuff here. You know, what happened in 96? It shows a picture of the Jaguar. It says, "Rest in peace, little kitty."
Circular laser pattern.
The Jaguar.
Brutal.
When are you going to tear the game out of your system and flush it down the toilet? You going to flush this game down the toilet?
No. I'm going to do it. You know I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Well, not flush the game down to the toilet. You know I'm going to beat this box.
So did you hear about that that Sega internal document PDF that came out?
I don't think so.
I need to watch Pandemonium's read through of it. He like read through the whole. It's like 300 pages of it's like a 300-page PDF of all these internal documents from Sega from like 1997, where the Saturn is like falling apart, and it Saturn is like pretty new, but there's all this stuff about like the 32X where like they're like discussing whether or not they want to if it would be cheaper for them just to scrap all the 32X hardware, like recall it all and just like destroy it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I want to read I want to watch the stream because that came out right before I left last week. And I want to I know
what does it
more
cost?
documents came out recently.
What does it cost Sega for 32Xs to be sitting on store shelves? Like,
I don't know, but it's like
enough
it's got a
about
lot of
retail
information
to-
in this document. It might even break that down. Oh, here's a exclusive preview of Final Fantasy VII, where it says the action within the console window will move at 60 FPS. The battles are not at 60 FPS in Final Fantasy VII, are they?
No, but I think the menu operates technically at 60 frames.
The action within the console window. So it's like the menus move at 60 FPS.
I guess
What
that's
it's
what
saying.
it's trying to say. I like.
Saying, well, the characters looked blocky. The movement was smooth.
The movement.
Oh, we got a $10 donation from Robert Hernandez.
Thank you.
Thank you. Saying happy Sunday, gents. Crazy to hear about these Saturn internal docks. I actually worked at Sega Test in '97 and had no idea any of that was going on. It was simply I was simply a blissfully ignorant tester at age 21. So did you go through the document then? Like since when it came out, did you, or are you just like hearing about it from what I'm saying? Because if you can read it yourself, you should definitely do that.
Now, I was thinking recently about your story about, your letters from Sega.
Oh yeah. Good stuff. I mean, it's fun to go through that stuff. If anybody wants to hear about my letters from Sega, I did a read through of Sega Visions #1 with on Classic Gaming Quarterly, probably 2 years ago, maybe two and a half years ago. And I talk about a lot of that stuff, about how I was pen pals with some of the game counselors at Sega, and I would call them all the time. Oh, so see, this is interesting here. Like all this stuff right here, it's like an ad for Nuke, which was like their website. In '96, I mean, that's like a big deal. Like in '96, like nuke.com.
That sounds a little familiar.
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about it before. But it's interesting because there's stuff right here where it's like, when did E3 start? In like 95 or 96?
95.
95. So here it's like talking about E3 in this. And it's just interesting seeing like the logo and everything they have. E3 hits Nuke. Nuke is proud to bring you coverage of the industry's largest electronic trade show, E3 first. For the Nuke product guide featuring show covers, special events, new product demonstrations, and editorial previews. Real-time online chats and iWave interviews with Greg Ballard from Capcom Entertainment, Tom Zito, president and CEO of Digital Pictures. Much other names. Oh, Robert, you should definitely dig that up and go through it. I think that it's very fascinating. I'm curious of what was in the new one. Like the additional documents that were added to it. The Brown Hound says you guys are the best. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm not the best at the final boss of Metal Slug Advance, though.
It's the Brown Hound. Brown. The Brown Hound. Oh, this one. This one is straight up says they called this game. They refer to the first Tomb Raider as Tomb Raiders with an S. It straight up says Tomb Raiders. You do it?
I appear to have done it.
There's a whole nother form now.
It doesn't look like it. So I think I could have done that a lot sooner, a lot more easily. I kept reserving my bombs for those droids because it seemed really effective on them, but I realized that I really only did about 2 phases of those drones, so I started, instead of conserving my bombs for that last phase when things got really difficult, I used more bombs. I used like 5 or 6 bombs on the actual core. That seemed to have helped a lot.
Okay.
So I probably could have beaten that like 30 minutes ago. Wow,
Although not much is known.
I don't look happy with my accomplishment at all here.
They're not tickled pink.
the top brass was tickled pink in either, was it first mission or second mission?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember which one. Was it second mission?
I think. They were tickled pink.
The top brass was tickled pink.
Although not much is known at this time about Tomb Raiders by US Gold. It is obviously a 3D game in which you are in control of a female Indiana Jane named Laura. The adventure will bring her through many different countries, leading to unique adventures in each. With visuals as shocking as these, be sure to keep an eye out for additional information that will shed some light on this mysterious title. Laura.
I like this font for some reason. It just seems like a pleasant font. Oh,
Yeah.
now she's happy.
Now she's tickled pink.
Look, they're all tickled pink now.
Top brass.
Sound ding ding. I'm gonna mark that on my backloggery.
There you go. This classic info says.
Forever. Did you see
What?
that? It said peace forever.
Dang.
Is this like canonically the last Metal Slug?
Maybe. Peace forever.
Peace forever.
Yeah. Peace. So this person says, Dear EGM, I've heard some good things about an old Sega Genesis game called Herzog Zwei. I'm trying to locate it, but more importantly, I'm trying to find some old reviews, but my mags only date back to 1992. Can you tell me more about this classic title? It says, well, it looks like you started reading EGM a bit too late. EGM reviewed Herzog Zwei in issue 10, June 1990. For reasons unbeknownst to me, since I really love the game, the review crew really bashed it, giving it the score of 4, 6, 4, and 3. If you are into military action strategy games like Military Madness on TurboGrafx 16 or Earthlight on the Super Famicom, this game is definitely hot, especially with 2 players. You should check out local area swap meets or stores that specialize in used games, since Technosoft didn't last too long in the States. The game will be hard to find, but is really worth the search. It's interesting to publish letters like that, though. It seems like they're trying, like, this one's about, like, celebrating a lot of the stuff that they did a long time ago. Like, long time before this issue. Because it's the 8th anniversary issue. Where'd he go? I didn't even. Where did Try go? I didn't even see him leave. Did he say where he's going someplace?
I went to get another game.
Oh. I was too busy reading about Herzog's why, I guess. Totally did not hear you say I'll be right back.
I said I was going to get something else to pop in.
Did you grab Tomb Raiders?
I did not. So when I was in LA like 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was hanging out with our friend Gabe Swar, and we saw this in a store, and he recommended this. There's like a whole ton of Momotaro games, but most of them are like RPGs or like management sim type things, I think. But he said this is just a straight up platformer. And it's good. So I haven't tried it yet. I bought it blind on his recommendation. Oh. Wait. Oh, did I guess I was a demo. I thought I started.
Except for the levels you have to do, like a Japanese quiz.
Oh yeah, like Wagyan Paradise.
A timed quiz.
You know,
this is the one that has Marc Davis, the fishing master, in it, right?
Oh yeah.
He's a playable character in this one. I'm gonna go on eBay right now.
For some reason, this kind of makes me think of Keith Courage.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah. Marc Davis, fishing master, SNES. Oh, it's $10.99. Oh, $5. Ooh, this one has a dust cover.
That's what this game cost me.
James Boone's playing, says, Coury, I'm playing it right now. It's not good, and I haven't heard a peep from Marc.
Oh, wait. Do I gain a fart? I don't have it anymore, but I did like a down crouch. A little puff came out.
Ooh.
It's weird. You can like... Whoa, it's Wonder Boy now. Or Dragon's Trap.
Dun, 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 dun. Rare Foil's asking if we've noticed any difference between a one-chip SNES S video and non-one-chip SNES S video.
Yeah, all video is sharper. All outputs are sharper on non-one chips. But you know, the thing to keep in mind with one chips is that they will be overly bright compared to non-one chips. So you know, there's still reason to use the RGB bypass mod on one chip consoles just to bring the video levels more in line, and also that capacitor replacement that fixes the ghosting issue. I mean, it's not like one chips are like this perfect solution all on their own. With that said, hopefully in the next month or two, we'll be able to do a video on two-chip console mods.
Yeah.
Because it looks like some pretty amazing things are happening.
There was $10 from a very long string of names saying SLID number, numerical, alphanumeric name. 9042 or 9049621B-96FB-30BA- with $10. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying seeing pre-orders for the PS2 digital HDMI mod from Black Dog Tech possibly happening this Saturday, July 15th. Video on Citrus PSI Twitter feed sees a hint at this. Hear anything about this? I have not. But I've been on vacation with family, so I haven't really looked at too much. But I'm going to inquire about it tomorrow. So I'll tell you that right now. Right now, I'm gonna right in that bamboo spikes. But I'm gonna look into that because I want it. I want it.
Whoa.
I need it. I have to have it.
I lost my pants. It looked inappropriate.
Ooh. It's right there. It's you know what? He tries to cover up, but it's too late. We've already seen everything. It's too late. We've already seen everything. There's no text saying. Oh yeah, you're right. All the pop-ups are not on here on the screen. Has it been saying? Have the donations been popping up on
the whole stream?
I don't know. I haven't been paying attention. Have they just not been popping up at all?
I don't know.
No, they haven't.
Oh.
You have them turned off?
I'll take a look, but I don't know why they were.
Now you've done it. I'm sorry, everybody.
They appear to be on. Maybe I should refresh the source.
That was a Patrick Stewart reference. It was in extras, I think. I've already seen it. I've seen everything. Again.
I refreshed I refreshed the browser source, so maybe I'll fix it. I don't know. Whoa! Whoa!
Whoa.
That's a bit much. Maybe I'll pick one more thing to...
Yeah. I'll ride it on out. I'm saying the music is too loud and you're being drawn out. Oh, here's a $2 from Azure Brian with a pop-up test. LOL. I don't know why it's doing this. I guess we'll have to figure out what the heck is going on. I'm seeing them here, but I'm in Streamlabs proper. Thank you for testing. I mean, I don't know why it's not. it should be on screen. And I don't know why it's not happening. Someone's going to get fired for this. Oh. I'm gonna sleep good tonight. Sleep in my own bed. First time in a week. Nellie was real happy to be home. She was like rolling around on the carpet and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that she's probably starting to think that we were never coming home.
Maybe. I'm just gonna play Mario 3 on GBA. Why not?
Mario Threeb.
Super Mario Advance 4 Super Mario Brothers 3. Wow. These graphics look so wrong to me. Square pixel aspect ratio. Woohoo! Just what I needed. Wow, I forgot that they kept that in this far into the GBA series.
Oh, his voice?
Yeah.
Just what I needed.
Just what I needed.
Threeb Hooba. I don't know what that means, but Hitori Hanzo just has a single message that says Threeb Hooba.
Sounds related to Marsupilami.
Yeah, the Hooba venture, Threeb.
Wow, the colors and UI, I guess it's been a lot longer since I've played this version of the game than I realized, because this is like, everything about this feels so strange to me. Like, it looks wrong. I mean, I actually played the Super Nintendo version of this recently on the Analog Pocket, just for the heck of it.
Oh yeah, I brought my Analog Pocket because that's like the only handheld I brought.
Right. Yeah.
So
I mean, when I was traveling last week, I brought it with me, which is the first time that I really brought it with me in like a year.
Yeah.
Like I'd been traveling with the Switch, right? And I don't know. I was just like, the Switch is too big, and I didn't think I would have really any time to play anything anyway. But I wanted to bring something to play.
But I'm starting to put stuff together for
Wow, a Toad smiling there. It looks weird.
A video on all the Genesis Black Grid Box games.
Yeah.
So I was just refreshing myself on playing some of the games that I hadn't played very much. I spent like a bunch of time playing Arnold Palmer Tournament Golf. It's kind of awesome, actually.
The layout of this level is different. Like the platforms are just slightly different. It's kind of weird.
It's not Super Mario Brothers 3. It's Super Mario Brothers Threeb. It's the Threeb Hooba venture. When I was traveling, I had a.
Wow. Okay. Bringing up the menu has to be all complicated. Whoa! Look at that. Man, it's been so long since I played this version. It's so strange.
I had a sub from Wegmans.
Yeah.
And it's just as good as it always was. My wife got a Wegman sub that had
That's
the
a
bread
grocery store,
had
right?
everything bagel seasoning on it, and it just like really brought the whole thing together. It was amazing.
Wegmans is a grocery store, right?
Yes, but they have really good subs and
Yeah.
lots of other stuff.
I like grocery store subs from like Harris Teeter.
Yeah. Your boy here Harris.
Harrison Teeter.
Yeah. But Wegman subs where it's at. I mean Subway also.
This music feels especially degraded on the GBA here. Very strange.
I mean, is there really a GBA game that sounds good? I don't think that there's a single one that like sounds like good.
I mean, you know, they could have fuzzy sound, but I mean, I really like how, you know, Drum and I played through, replayed Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance on Backloggery stream earlier this year, and you know, I really appreciate how that game, you know, at the time, people said like, oh, this sounds terrible. It sounds way worse than Circle of the Moon. But now it's actually, I think its audio is held up a lot better because it uses the Game Boy Color sound channels.
Oh, okay.
More so than, or I don't know about more so, but it uses them alongside the, you know, the software sound. So
yeah.
it, you know, it has more instruments that sound clean.
Okay.
So I think it sounds pretty good. You know, I think games that do that have, in a lot of ways, held up better from a sound perspective. But I mean, you know, GBA is certainly full of great compositions like Advance Wars and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, ultimately it is a fuzzy sound because, you know, it was software-based sound drivers that were competing for CPU resources.
Yeah.
So it's understandable why sound could not always be a priority in GBA games, but it's still so weird to me. Like, you know, I don't know enough about like programming to really understand like what it really means to be, you know, writing code for a 32-bit processor versus a 16-bit processor. But you know, it has always been such a strange thing to me that GBA is a 32-bit system because, you know, the end result of its game seems less capable than the Super Nintendo, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure there's all sorts of other aspects. Oh, look at that! I
What, the
forgot
Hooba
about
Venture?
that. That's kind of funny if they added that. Oh, almost got all the way across.
Super Mario Hooba Venture?
That's what they should have called Super Mario Wonder.
Yeah, Hooba.
That would have been a catchier name.
Yes.
Super Mario Wonder looks amazing, but I don't love the name.
I mean, it could be said that any game that adds the word Hooba to its title is automatically made to be better. Right?
Like,
I don't know. It could be anything.
Like Bloodborne Hooba Venture?
Yeah. It's automatically better.
Is it?
James Boone just found out recently that Gradius 5 was developed by Treasure. Of course, he had to buy it off of eBay. Do you have Gradius 5?
I don't. I
You've almost bought it many times.
Yeah. Well, not many times. Like, for some reason, I thought it was a lot more expensive than it actually is, or at least more expensive. I thought it was more expensive than the last time I saw it. Well, I saw it and I'm like, oh, that's not that bad of a price. But I didn't buy it. Probably should have, but I didn't.
Hooba stank better than stank? Yes. Automatically. Is Hooba stank saying the reason? The reason is you?
Okay. I'm not optimistic about how this level will go. Oh, it looks like maybe they've added some
Hooba.
Yeah, they add some Hooba.
I mean, Hooba, I like it because it's very close to the word tuba. How about a tuba? It's a tuba.
Wow, that was some bad jumping.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, you should try to. Hopefully, you'll beat this without dying.
Wow, I was originally going to say like, oh, if I die, I'll just call it. But I want to see. I want to see if I can go for it. I think this is the hardest level in the game, personally. You know, if I'm not doing the warp whistle trick, I usually use a P-wing here. That's funny. The drum sound effect with this underground music is like, oh wow, they had music in here too. That's weird. I don't remember that. But the drum hit sounds like sounds like almost like stomping on a Goomba. It's weird. I mean, you know, I like GBA was it came out like right at the end of my came out like right at the end of 11th grade. So
What?
GBA came out like right at the end of 11th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like you know, it was a pretty big part of college for me, I guess. And
Right.
so it was like a really big deal to me that that like, you know, some of my favorite like NES and Super Nintendo games like were on GBA, because like I didn't have you know, I didn't have my Super Nintendo at college. So it was, you know, it was a way to have like some of my favorite games with me.
Right.
You know, so I really liked that I could get this, but you know, I've barely touched it since then. But like, you know, it was really cool to have Link's Awakening and, you know, stuff like that at the time. But now, like, I would never really choose these versions. Also, I think I made a wrong turn. Oh wait, I can do this.
It made sense at the time.
Yeah.
Elk Plays and Paints was entering 6th grade when the GBA launched.
Oh.
I was like going into like my last GBA launched in 2001.
Yes.
June of 2001.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was done with college.
I had it pre-ordered at probably Funkoland.
Did you get a purple one or a white one?
White.
That's what I got too. The Arctic.
My dad like worked kind of close to where Funkoland was, so I like gave him my receipt for the pre-order and asked him to pick it up for me. And it was either the last day or one of the last days of school. Like it might have been like finals or something. I forget.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, so I got out of school early that day, and I came home and the GBA was there, which I like totally didn't expect. And my mom left a note by it saying Dad brought the Game Boy home for you. Wasn't that nice?
Do you still have that note?
No.
Oh. I would have kept that.
Well, because my mom, I guess, was home for lunch. It's either ran into him dropping it off, but like I did not expect him to like actually bring it home. Like in the middle of the day, I didn't think I would have it until he got home at night. So it was pretty awesome that I was able to like break it out and play it right then. And it was just like I just remember just like playing this and it's like, wow, like Super Nintendo style game design is back. Like it was so exciting to me. Like because 2D gaming was relatively dead,
Yeah,
I mean, it sort of existed, but it was not a major thing. And then it's like, wow, it was so exciting to see that here's a new system that specializes in that again,
Yeah.
It was a big deal, I thought. Because I was definitely very worried. Whoa! Very worried about the future of 2D gaming. Like at the I really like original Game Boy games now, but like at the time I was definitely like pretty tired of them.
Yeah.
So I was like to see Super Nintendo quality again
Yes, it made sense.
It was a big deal to me. Like Circle of the Moon was quite a revelation, I thought. I mean, and of course, I had Circle of the Moon and F-Zero is what I had.
Wait, did you had you played Symphony of the Night when Circle of the Moon came out?
Yeah, I had. But I mean, it was just like a revelation to see that like a Super Nintendo quality game in the vein of a PlayStation game on a handheld system. Like that just blew me away.
I see. There's $10 from James Boone saying, in Marc Davis's digitized voice with a hint of despair. Thanks for a fun evening, fellas. Glad to try beat that Metal Slug final boss.
Yeah, I should have beat it like a long time earlier.
Yeah.
But whatever. Oh no.
But thank you, James Boone.
This is getting dicey.
Is it really? Oh, come on. What are you doing? Get him. Was he named Bowser yet?
Oh, he's always been Bowser in America.
Okay.
Except for like the Super Show. Oh, come on.
You die?
No. I mean, he was Koopa in the Super Show and the movie,
Koopa.
but he's always of
Yeah,
course
I
been
mean, like,
Koopa. In
yeah.
Japan.
Okay. I guess if he was in the original.
Oh wow,
Daniel.
the victory music plays at like a way slower tempo. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Peach looks really weird in this. Like, they basically just use her Mario 2. It's like a modified version of her Mario 2 sprite, pretty much in the original. And in All Stars.
Oh.
Like, you know, it's kind of a silly thing, but it kind of bugs me. Oh, it's off screen now. It kind of bugs me when games mix like profile view characters and like
Oh,
3/4
like that?
view characters. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like Kryl in Final Fantasy V. Like she's like all the other characters are profile view.
Is that how you? I didn't even know that's how you pronounce her name. Kryl. I thought it was like Creel.
It's
or
Kryl. Oh, there's a character named Kryl in Final Fantasy 14, and they say Kryl. So.
I mean, I refuse to call him Bart's.
Oh, you go for butts.
I'm strictly a butts man.
I mean, I had never played the fan translation for Final Fantasy
Yeah.
V when the PS1 version came out, and even though there is no default name in the game, like either the manual or something else I read said that his official name is Bart's. And it's still officially Bart's, but yes, the original Japanese is Butts.
Yeah. Butts.
I mean, it's probably like, well, if it was meant to be Butts, it would probably be like Butsu or something like that. But I actually don't know what like the con.
Well,
the
I mean, I feel like they realize like we can't name them Butts.
Yeah. Butts.
You know, it's like they had to just like kind of change it because they felt like it was too silly. But I mean, honestly, like I think they should have gone with it, gone for it. You know, just go for the butts and like let the
there's no in-game
let the chips
default
fall as they
name,
may.
so.
I guess the potential like what lies in store for Final Fantasy V's future with a main character who's like can't like officially name Butts.
Well, anyway, that was
Is that
fun
gonna do
doing
it?
A quick run through Mario 3 in a very strange
quick.
version.
The quickness. Thank you to everybody who donated. Sorry, I'm almost like been a little delirious.
Understandable.
But look for that video this week. I'm making it happen. I'm ready. I've got it all. I'm just like editing it now. I'm gonna record a little supplemental information for it. But I pooped that one out this week. And see how it goes. I hope everyone has a wonderful week.
We will see you next week.
Yepers. See you then.
Good night.
Take care.